All right, so it's Monday, February 12th, and welcome back to Sneed Mobile Tech here on the YouTube channel that brings you all of your daily important news from carrier information all the way to hardware devices and other bits and pieces of network technology. So, I'm going to just start with T-Mobile because I want to get to some important information from another carrier, but let's start there. So, T-Mobile has declared that they're seeing some really good speeds. I believe it's been remarked that they have a improvement of up to 5 to 10 times faster data speeds in terms of LTE speeds due to the LAA unlicensed spectrum utilization that they began using and deploying in 2017. So basically, most of the testing and rollout was in 2017, as of quarter four, and they've cited a lot of places like New York that have really capitalized on this, and they've improved capacity and speeds greatly. So in the focus for 2018, specifically quarter one, expect to see a lot of small cells, single touch point antennas that are going to really help utilize the spectrum, improve speeds in congested areas. So this is really helping T-Mobile. Verizon has also been using it, but it's basically been market driven. So, areas that particularly need it, it doesn't make sense to blanket the entire nation when only certain parts would require it. So, Verizon's taken that approach as the market has required it. T-Mobile has been using it in a lot of places, and they're going to continue to deploy it. I believe AT&T also used it in Indianapolis in 2017. So they've got, from the AT&T side, over 20 new markets in 2018 that are going to see the same LAA spectrum being used. This unlicensed spectrum has been utilized by those three companies. Haven't heard much from Sprint. They've been kind of hush on it. I haven't really heard any news from them on it, but we are expecting to see them use it at some point in 2018. But I'll keep you guys posted on that and any further updates in the future. Um, Let me just go ahead and jump into this Verizon news. So, basically, in the past, Verizon has been mandated to keep their phones unlocked. Even though that they're selling them on their network and they're selling them to their customers, as you see with other carriers like Sprint, T-Mobile, and AT&T, those phones are usually locked to that particular network. Now, there's a number of reasons for doing that, but for mostly, it's just about keeping those phones on their network and not allowing it to be used anywhere else until it's paid off and it's been activated and used on that network. So in the past, Verizon has always sold them unlocked, at least since 2008. What this allows is, great versatility of the device to be used on lots of different networks. When you sell a Verizon model phone, you can pretty much sell it to anybody on any network, whatever they're going to use it for, whether it's an MVNO or any of the other three carriers. So very versatile, very valuable in the resale market. Now, what Verizon is going to do is they're going to do things in two steps. Number one, the first step is they're going to lock it until it is activated. So this is supposed to prevent theft and people, stealing devices from stores. So that's their theft reason. And kind of step two is the wait period, which they're going to impose, I guess, at some point in the spring. They don't have a set date, but they're basically saying they're going to lock it, and they're saying it's an unspecified amount of time. So that basically means they're not going to tell you how long it's going to be locked for, and nobody knows. So this is not consumer friendly. I can tell you guys, whenever I used to give people advice as to what type of uh, a phone they should buy, I recommended always getting a Verizon device because it was ensured it was going to be unlocked. I can no longer say that anymore. And now, also, if you think about the other carriers and their different policies, Sprint has you keep a phone active on their network for 50 days, and then they'll allow you to unlock it after it's paid in full. AT&T does 60 days active, and then you can unlock the device, but you have to also wait 14 days to unlock your old phone, even after you've upgraded to a new one. So they got their own little stipulations. In T-Mobile, it's mandated that you have 40 days active, and then you're only allowed two unlocks per year or something like that. So they all have their little things. But let me tell you about the history and why this is important from Verizon. So in 2008, it's about 10 years ago, when the FCC ordered Verizon to sell their devices unlocked, it was for the exchange of using a 700 megahertz upper C block spectrum that they won in auction. So this is where things get interesting. We currently know that the FCC and the whole net neutrality thing has completed for the most part. All we know is that there is not going to be any net neutrality. So we're going to start seeing a lot of things happening from a political perspective. Now, because of the lack of leadership in the FCC and the lack of representation that they have for protecting consumers' rights and consumer interests, i.e., the net neutrality issue, we can clearly see that Verizon believes that they can just get away with bloody murder. They're going to go ahead and start locking phones because they don't believe they're going to be held accountable for it. They just feel like they're going to get away with it. So they don't want their phones going anywhere to any other networks. That's basically the premise of this. So this has nothing to do really with theft or phones getting stolen before they're sold. That's nonsense. That's an excuse. This is basically Verizon saying, we're going to do whatever we want. The FCC is not holding anybody to anything. They're busy doing whatever else, and we're going to do whatever we want because we can get away with it. So, this is a Verizon thing that they're trying to do. They don't feel like they're going to be scrutinized for this, but they should be, and they will be. And I'm sure a lot of you have opinions and thoughts on this. So let me know in the comment section below what you guys think of these new lock restrictions that Verizon is going to have, and any of the other news that I presented to you guys today. You know my thoughts and opinions on it, so let me hear what you guys have to say in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching the video. That's it. Today's leg day. I'm going to the gym. I got squats and deadlifts to do, and I'm pretty angry and amped up right now. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.